Welcome to I Love Stocks and hello trading community. Today we're going to talk about Tesla, but first I want to run you through our website here, I Love Stocks. We also have us a little YouTube channel. Please subscribe and ring that bell. Miss Vegas just did a video last week on Cheddar Flow Part 2. She has a Part 1 and a Part 2, so it'd be nice if you went ahead and hit that like button and watch that video. And every week, every Sunday, we put out a Sunday's report that'll be coming out a little bit later. But today I want to do a little video on Tesla, one of my favorite bullish bearish trades. Well, let's start off with Tesla itself. Here's the website. They have a bunch of different models. One thing I do like is the range of some of these cars that they do have. Like this Roadster has a range of 620. We also have the Model S, the Model 3, the Model X, the Model Y, and most recently put out is a Cybertruck that I know 3 people have ordered. And I really like this idea. I really think this will really be an eye catcher when you see it riding down the road. Might cause accidents. People taking their eye off the road and looking at this beautiful Roadster here. I mean, this beautiful Cybertruck. So let's talk about the first thing in the news, which I really appreciate. Shanghai, we've had a little problem here with the coronavirus. They closed the plant down, but Shanghai is going to try to help resume production amid the coronavirus. I still think that's probably the biggest scare I've seen. The 15 years that I've been trading, besides politicians, they can turn the market too. So it depends on what kind of politician you want to put in office. But this coronavirus spread, and I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think it will be controlled. And when that news comes out, we'll probably get another big bang on Tesla. But we did have a big run on Tesla, and that was very impressive. And the coronavirus right now, we're at 37 confirmed, 37,565, with a total of 813 deaths, and the total recovery is 2,778. This is up 2,050 from yesterday, or maybe 2,600 from yesterday, the cases that have been reported. So this is a website. It's called the Coronavirus Global Cases by John Hopkins CSSE. So the next thing we're going to talk about, so I think that resuming of that plant is going to be a good catalyst for Tesla in the upcoming months. They built that factory in less than a year and started producing them cars out of it. So the next one is the battery life. I think we're going to have us here in April is going to be the battery day in April. I think there might come out and be another catalyst for this to maybe bounce up a little higher, maybe get up to that higher range above my resistance levels or into my resistance levels. For right now, I think we're going to build a channel off the run. But this is the battery. Can you imagine 1 million miles on a battery? I mean, that is just incredible. And also, I want to bring up, there's another company that I mentioned last week. It's called BLNK, Blink. It's one that creates these little chargers right here, and I think they're in talks with Tesla right now about them chargers. So one thing that the bears don't understand, and this is one thing that I deal with the bears a lot, how to survive a bear attack. I don't think they understand the concept of guidance and the future that goes down the road in about 5 to 10 years. I truly believe within 20 to 25 years, a gasoline engine will be ousted. And if anybody drives them, they're going to be, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money to put that thing out on the street. And everything's going to be turned into electric cars. These electric cars are fast, they're powerful, and they're also environmental friendly. So always keep in mind that you're going to have bears on Tesla, and they're going to try to argue with you and debate, oh, this is too big of a run. Well, every once in a while, you're going to get a stock like Tesla that's just going to take off, and it's not going to look back. And I think we're in that stage right now. After breaking that $300 resistance, I know we're in that stage right now. So the next thing I want to talk about is always remember how to survive a bear attack. And I'm going to write a little book about this on how to survive bears because they are one of a kind. And I do appreciate them. And, let's embrace the bears for right now because they're giving us volatility, and volatility will give us extra dollars. If you know how to scalp or you have a small core position, that's fine. But we're at a position right now where it's back in the scalping phase. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Model Y. The official range, it just came out this last week that the Tesla Model Y gets an official 350 miles EPA range, becomes the most efficient SUV ever. Ever. I love that. These cars are outstanding. They'll they'll be number one in the market. They're way ahead of their rivals. Um, General Motors tried to put out the electric car, they failed. Uh, you know, what I appreciate about Elon and about the company, I'm investing in the man. I take this trade on the man himself because he's the most intelligent man I've seen ever in a long time. So I love that word ever. And the battery life, like I say, is a big deal on this. And then we have the next catalyst that I like about this trade is the artificial intelligence or the chip. Let's put the chip in here. The key to self-driving. They have the best chip. They're years ahead of all the other cars when it comes to the chip making. And Elon personally says 1 million Teslas will be capable of driving themselves while a person sleeps in the driver's seat, which I would never do, but I can appreciate that. And then the last thing that I really like about it is the Tesla over-the-air software updates. That means you can buy a Tesla and then today and maybe in another year it'll run twice as better. So it can fix problems over the air. Uh, computer on wheels. That's what I like to say, and it's just something that I've heard people talk about it that have owned a Tesla, and they say it drives better now than it did when I first bought it. So that's another catalyst that I think that they're way ahead of other market makers or other automakers in this league. So there's the catalysts that I think that are just parts of why I think this is a great trade. And I've been calling it out ever since it was at $180, and now here we are. We're at an average price. Let me look at the chart. Let's pull up the chart right now, and we can go to that. So I've got a low support down here in this range right here. I'm going to pull up the 10-day. Let's pull up the 20-day. Just show you the run that it's had in 20 days. 473.70 bottom low up here, and she ran up to a high of 968.99, and then she just had to pull back. I mean, this was too big of a run. We do have other support levels on here that we want to keep in mind just in case it decides to knife, but I've been bullish on this trade for a long time, ever since it was under $100, and I'm still bullish on it. I just love Tesla. So we've got a little resistance level up here at 754.76, and that's what we need to break come Monday, and we can bring it up to a new high of right around the 77. I'm going to say right around this 778.65. I'm going to turn that into another red line. That's going to be a red line resistance that I want to call on this trade right now. If we get up there and break that crack next week above that 778.65, you might see the bears come in here. And like I said, give them a little salmon, feed them a little bit. The next fish that'll jump up, hopefully it'll break that resistance level of 778.65. And the pullback low support is going to be right around the $700 area, 705.90 to be exact, 704.90. But I have a little channel right in here that I want to build. I'd like to see it build this channel into next week and just kind of stay in here. It could break out again, could break up, and I do believe that when April comes out, we'll break this resistance of 968.99 when that battery, or let's say 945.07. That's where I want to put my resistance at. We did have a high of 968.99. So let's pull this up to a 10-day, just get a closer look at it, see if that kind of helps a little bit. Like I said, I want to build a channel in here. Anything below this is going to be a strong buy. I got a real strong buy at 654, 673 is going to be my red line low support, and anything below that, I'm going to be really jumping on it. Now, what you got to do for the first half hour of the day is watch which trend it's going in. Like the other day when we were right in here, you notice the trend started. We based right above that, and this is on a 10-day, 30-minute chart, daily 30-minute. And after that 30 minutes, she broke above that and started to break out. Then we had the three white soldiers. And once we had that three white soldiers, the doji came. The doji base was a little bit below the base of that 30-minute, so that kind of gave me a bearish sentiment. And I always like to play that 200 EMA. This is the 200 right here. So I like playing that bounce off that 200. And you see it did bounce up off that 200. Kind of held there for a couple hours. And then bam, into after hours, she went ahead and broke on up. Created a new high at 770 and pulled back. I'm great at reading charts. I love patterns. And those are probably, besides news, I know I'm a trader off of news. And this stock wouldn't be running if it didn't have news. So any trader that tells you that a stock doesn't run on news, they're an idiot. News is a catalyst that'll bring a stock up or bring it down, unless it's being pumped by the pumpers out there. And I appreciate the pumpers too, because they give a little volatility to a stock. But you got to recognize that. But we did have three white soldiers on that day, and it did pull back and hit that 200. And I talk a lot about that in the room. Every time I see a trade like that, I just say, yeah, this is great, man. Get in on that 200 day. And anything below that 200 right now is going to be a strong buy. But always remember, follow the trend. Every day, it kind of breaks out pretty good. And if the trend's going in a negative way, then that's the way you want to play it for a while. Play it bearish. If the trend's going green, play it until you hit a resistance level. And my resistance level on that day is right here, right at that 754. So Tesla, we're going to give the final look at it here on a daily. Let's go with the daily 3-minute. Now let's go to the 5-day. So this is how I look at it. Low support, no lower than 654. I don't want to see it crack below this 704 area, maybe around that 697, 704. I think to me is going to be a strong buy. I do want to keep it in this channel between 700 and about 800, somewhere around 793. Now if we break that 7093, consider it a gift. If you're scalping, consider it a gift. And that's when you really want to pay attention to the stock. And if you start to see lower highs, that's the time to exit. And when I say lower highs, this is what I'm talking about. To me, we pulled back. Now, I've talked about this trade also a lot in the room. Say when you have the initial breakout, you might have missed the trade. Wait for that first initial pullback. Then you'll get a confirmation. And once that confirmation's met, you can go ahead and take into that trade, maybe take it back up to resistance level or even break of resistance. Now the time to really get out of the trade after that first initial breakout is the lower highs. Now if you see a lower high, that's when you want to maybe go ahead and on that next initial run up, go ahead and get out of that trade and get out of it fast, because it can pull back pretty fast. And then you always have another chance to get back in the trade. I just, I like to emphasize that a lot. A lot of people, they're afraid that you're going to be missing out. You're not going to miss out. You might miss out on that initial run, but you're going to have a chance. It's going to pull back, and you're going to be able to get back in the trade again and make up that not a loss, but that extra money you could have made. But you never know. You could be stuck in that trade and go in there and make you a sandwich and come back and the thing's dropped $200 or $300 on you. So I always say when you're in Tesla, keep a good eye on it, especially if you're scalping it. If you're in for a long investor, that's a different story. But this is Tesla. I want everybody to keep a good eye on it. Let's pull this back up. I'm going to repeat this channel one more time. We'll go to the 10. The channel I want to keep is going to be between the $700 and the $800 area. If we can keep that all this week, I'm going to be very satisfied that we're going to be able to have another catalyst to bring this stock up. And remember, appreciate them bears out there because they're going to try to bring this stock down. They're going to try to show negativity, but you be the man. You watch the charts. You keep a hold of the news. And a lot of these bears don't understand that this is the new way right now. And Tesla is just one of my number one stocks. And everybody have a great day. And I love stocks. Always remember, when you go to our YouTube channel, subscribe and ring that bell. Also, if you're familiar with our website, we got a little bird right here. We keep gaining followers every week. We gain about 40, 50 followers a week. And that's on our I Love Stocks, Miss Vegas. Always posting alerts in here, keeping things going. So we also, if you didn't want to join the room, you could always just follow us here on Twitter, or even if you have a Stock Twits account,